Hey guys, it's Harold with Gray Steel Mindset. We're going to talk about EDC today. So that's what I actually carry on my body every single day. It varies, okay? So I'm always going to have a few knives on me, but those knives are going to be different depending on how cold it is, what my clothes type is. Obviously, if I'm wearing heavier clothing, I'm probably going to carry a little bit bigger of a knife just because it's easier to conceal. So lighter clothing, I'm a big sweatpants and t-shirts guy. In fact, I got sweatpants and a t-shirt on right now. And if I'm out in public and it's nice out and this is all I need, no jacket, I'm probably going to carry a little bit lighter of a knife. So it really depends. Maybe some neck knives. We're getting into that. What I had on me today, it's actually a little bit chilly where I'm at and where I work. So I was wearing a heavier jacket today at work. So flashlight, okay. Always good to have one of these on you. This is a cheap, crappy Walmart one. In fact, I need to get this replaced, but it's worked so far. It's starting to give out a little bit now. Of course, it's going to act fine now, but it's giving out. I'm going to replace it with a stream light. So, box cutter. So, I use these a lot at work. No one gives two thoughts about these on your EDC, especially if you're a worker. It's a box cutter. No one thinks too much about it, as opposed to if you walked into a certain work environment with a big ass knife on you or a defensive blade, started cutting boxes with it, people might be like, what? I don't know if you need all that, but a box cutter, no one really bats an eye at. Pepper spray, depending on the environment. Where I work isn't the greatest area of town. Pepper spray. Wallet. Not gonna open it. It's a shark bite, so there's no Velcro at all. It just slips in here, and that's about it on the wallet. Beard wax and beard balm, because I have a beard, coincides with my comb. I really always have these three things on me with a few knives, but these are always in my pocket or close to me. This is the small knife I was carrying today. This is the Ontario Wraith. It's one of their newer versions, or newer collabs, I should say, with the ice handle see-through that they're going with. I don't know if they're going to make this a line or not, but I thought it looked pretty cool and grabbed it. No real complaints. I used it last night at work to cut some rope up. Sliced it pretty easy. It's not the best steel, but it does the job. It looks cool. Everyone can see that it's just a plain old knife, which is what I do like about carrying it at work. If you have to take this out or whatnot, everyone's like, oh, it's clearly just a normal knife. There's nothing sinister or whatnot about it. So, and car keys. And that's really all I carry on me every single day in some shape or form. So, different knife and tool options depending on your clothing type, right? Know your clothing type and know your environment, first off, okay? And the rules that apply to your environment, okay? Heavier clothing, you can get away with heavier knives, all right? This is the Ontario Rat. I love this thing. It is a little bit on the heavier side when it comes to knife. It's also bigger than some of the other ones. To give it a size comparison, this is the Ontario Rat and the Wraith we previously talked about. Get this sucker open. Okay. Bit of a size difference, all right? So this one, probably not going to draw as much as attention if I take that out to cut some boxes as this thing is. So depending on the environment, you know, this is a full size handle as compared to a smaller handle with the Wraith. So this would be way easier to hide with a bigger jacket that's got some more padding and stuff. Probably be better off carrying this in the winter. Okay. Other smaller knife options that I have. Kershaw. I don't carry this too much because for a smaller knife, this thing has some size to it, okay? This thing actually weighs close to the same amount as this one. Okay, and it's significantly smaller than the Rat. Okay, I don't carry this as much because it's heavy. So, if I don't want to carry a bigger knife and it's still cold out and I got layers of padding on, sometimes I opt for a neck knife, okay? These are, CRKT makes some great neck knives. This one is the minimalist. I got a couple versions of these. I actually don't think I have the others though with me. I know I have the Spew and one other, but they're great. I'll normally double layer them with certain other necklaces on me, right? And so I can tuck this under, if I'm wearing an undershirt, I can tuck the knife in to the undershirt and then have the jacket over and then my normal necklace on top. No one's the wiser, right? I'll normally use the neck knife as a defensive blade. I can obviously cut boxes with it, but most of my neck knives I'm not trying to cut boxes with because I really don't want people knowing I have a neck knife on me. So what I'll normally do is I'll carry my neck knife and then I'll have some time a multi-tool on me, so a Swiss Army knife, a Leatherman, something in my pocket, super simple, that I'll take out and I'll use for boxes. So there's the neck knife option when it comes to carrying in a certain environment. Cleavers, right? They're bigger, they're kind of stylized, unique. They're great for cutting boxes. No one's really batted an eye and thought, oh, that's kind of weird, that I've run into at my work locations with a cleaver. So they're always like, oh, that's a cool knife, but because it doesn't have the angled tip, I don't think they're not as worried about it. It's pretty, put it in the box or whatnot, whatever you need to cut and slice. So this one, this is a Gerber actually. I don't know the full name off the top of my head, but this one's quite heavy also, so I normally run this with heavier clothing, jeans and stuff. SOG, I use this thing all the time. It doesn't matter what clothes I'm wearing. Liner lock, this thing's been beat up. This is just my regular utility knife for cutting stuff open. So if I'm out and about town, sweatpants, it's a little option. Cardboard sheath, super light. Cardboard will help you out, excuse me, a lot when it comes to sheaths. It's really keeps the light. The only thing that's weighted then is really the actual knife itself. And I can just, if I'm on a walk with the dog or whatnot and don't want to carry a bunch of stuff on me, I'll just throw this and maybe my pepper spray in my pocket and I'll be set to go. So it's a nice little cutter. I mean, it's got a little bit of a grip on the back. So you could do some ice pick work, if you know what I'm saying. But that's that. And so I carry a few other items, chargers and whatnot. We have a bottle opener, obviously. You can probably figure out what else this design could be used for, but it does have a bottle opener on the back. It's very effective, and it's marketed as a bottle opener. Okay, so if you ever get one of these, make sure it has a bottle opener or some way. You can be like, that's not a brass knuckle. It's not a brass knuckle or a single knuck. It's a bottle opener, all right? So this is just kind of also a little cool piece you can play around with. I find myself sitting and flipping this thing around my finger a lot. And it doesn't really draw any attention, a single one of these. Now, if I pulled out a bunch of brass knuckles, a pair of brass knuckles, that would definitely draw attention. But something like this, no. And I'm making a lanyard for it, so it's one of those things that I can also throw in my jacket with maybe this and pepper spray in a wallet, and keys and whatnot, and take my dog on a walk or run down to the store really quick. So know your environment, know what you're wearing for the day, what you're wearing for the day, as applies to like heavier or lighter clothing, and then figure out what you may possibly run into. All right, medical and stuff, that's completely separate. That's all in my car and stuff. For those of you that get on my case about having medical gear, I do have medical gear. It's always near me. It just may not be directly on my person, but most of the time I can get to my vehicle. Live in a pretty urban environment, so not too worried about it. Catch y'all next time. Carry something and stay safe.